Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and we are back again because Miss Amberlynn Reed uploaded a new video titled The Truth About My Weight Loss Surgeon and Everything Else I've Been Avoiding, ... And this is a 31.5 minute long video, one of the longest videos we've gotten from Amberlynn in recent history. And typically, for something this long, I normally maybe watch the whole thing through and then just comment on the things that I thought were interesting. But I just don't feel like doing that today. So we're just gonna watch it all together, and I'll put the work into the back end of this filming and editing, and I'll just edit out the questions that are inevitably boring, which, like, let's be honest, I'm pretty sure this is a Q&A. I'm pretty sure, I mentioned in my last video that I did reacting to her that she had posted a little Instagram post with a Q&A option and said that it would actually be used in a video. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is, which means inevitably some of the questions are just going to be things we don't care about. And we'll talk about it more in a second, but I also know the stuff about the weight loss surgeon. And I know some people have kind of spoiled me, which I usually don't ask people to do, but it's fine. It's truly fine. I'm sure I'm gonna have some thoughts to add to it. Some folks have said that she's mentioned me, and I know that there are other reaction channels involved as well, so we're gonna get into it. But first, I just want to thank today's sponsors. The sponsor of today's video is Love and Pies. Love and Pies is the cutest baking game that sees you adding together different ingredients to make specific dessert items for your customers. You're also following along the story of Amelia as she takes over a burned down cafe that her mother used to run. And she has to find out about all the things that happened along the way and all the juicy gossip in the town that she lives in. Love and Pies has become an important part of my day. I love playing mobile games to both start my day and end my days. So in the morning when I have my coffee, I just open up the app and I get to decorating my cute little cafe. I really do like the redecorating of the cafe part of the game the most. I think it's fun to add your own cute little unique touch to the game. But I of course love the puzzle aspect of it as well, and I love the concept of trying to get as many ingredients combined together to make all of the desserts for your customers. The game is filled with so many fun events and free surprises that it's sure to keep you entertained for a long time. So if you're looking for a fun way to relax, unwind, either at the start of your day like me or at the end of the day before you go to bed, consider downloading Love and Pies. The best thing about the game is that it's free and you're not required to watch any ads. So if you want to download Love and Pies, please use the link down below in my description box or use the QR code that's on the screen as we speak. Thanks so much to Love and Pies for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get to. Alright, so like I mentioned, I have gotten a little bit of spoilers. I've just gotten spoilers. That's all there is to it. And I know that I have had some information from Amberlynn herself because there was a point months ago where she DM'd me about some of this stuff. and I, because I do care about people's personal information being shared and whatnot, haven't said anything about it because, like, to the extent that I'm able to not, like, further share personal information about people, I don't. So I'm curious to see what she's gonna say, and I'll let you know when we get to that part of the video if I have anything additional to add to it, okay? All right, because I did tell her, I was like, I won't mention anything about this unless you finally someday speak about it, because, again, I wanted to protect her personal information. And so if she's speaking about it, I'll let you know if I think there's anything significant I need to add to this conversation, okay? All right, okay. Thank you. Also, this is gonna be a longer video, so that's why I got a coffee. Got a coffee because I need to be ready. I need to be prepared. This is my favorite little coffee mug, by the way. I guess I'm really a dad, I guess, to Judy and Poe, but I don't like golf. I just think it's so corny, and that's why I had to get it. And it's like the perfect size. Anyways, that's besides the point. Let's really just get to, shall we?
Hey guys, welcome to the video. So today we have a Q&A. So I went on Instagram and had you guys ask me some questions, and I listed off the ones I want to answer on my MacBook. And I had 31 questions in total after going through hundreds. But so many are repeats or things that I've already answered or things that maybe I just don't want to talk about. So after about like an hour and a half,
I am obsessed with like a lot of them were repeats. Yeah, because you literally post a Q&A every other fucking week, girly pop. Like, what do you mean? Of course you had repeats. Of course you had repeats. I also love that she's like, and also just some things I really didn't want to answer. And yet this video is titled Everything Else I've Been Avoiding. So it's not really everything else you've been avoiding now, is it?
31 questions, and I was like, that is such a weird number. And I was like, let's do 33. I'm 33 years old, and 3s are a special number in my family. So I was like, okay, that works out perfect. I really try to choose questions that people have been asking a lot of. And
I'm hesitant to pause too much because, you know, this is a 30-minute long video. But I just love the Amberlynn brain and logic to be like, 31 is such a weird number, so I picked 33 instead. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Never change. And that aspect. Never change in that aspect.
And questions that I haven't really answered before. So let's get into it because we have 33 questions that I need to answer.
Let's go.
First question is, would you do an interview done by the H3 podcast? Yes.
And she don't shut the fuck up about Ethan Klein, because you know what's so funny about that? Now that we've also had more time to digest all of this, you know, the argument she was trying to make by way of Alexis Shook making the argument for her was that because she showed up in the, like, watch next or recommended, that meant that he probably watched her. Well, literally yesterday while I was on the twitch.tv/thezacharymike streaming, I watch YouTube videos over there, and I had, like, the weirdest thing in my recommendation for, like, somebody taking an ice bath. And people are like, Zach, why is this person taking an ice bath and you're recommended? I'm like, I don't know. I've literally never seen this channel before. Now, I do get weird stuff in my recommended that I have watched before. Like, I watched The Meticulous Manicurist because I don't have a foot fetish. I just think that those little foot pedicure videos are very relaxing. So, you know, if it was something I really did actually follow, I would have no problem owning up to that. But I was like, I've literally never seen that. But by Amberlynn via Alexis Shook logic, I guess that means that I watch that ice bath channel all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I would be extremely nervous, though, because I'd be know so how nervous. Is. I remember how she found out you were gay, and can she share her version /side?
Wait, what was this question? I need to shut the fuck up.
Me and what would he say? But I would totally do it because I love them. Does your mom remember how she found out you were gay, and can she share her version /side of the story? So that's actually something that me and my mom have recently talked about. Because we like to reminisce, we talk about the hard stuff, the fun stuff, like just things that we experienced together as mother and daughter when we were younger. And that is a topic that has come up. And I actually have asked her, I was like, Mom, do you want to share your side? Because I've actually gotten people asking this before. She said she would, but she doesn't want to like physically be on camera right now. So I think it would just be like her voice or something. But I think that would be fun to like hear the mother's side to a coming out story. I think a lot of people could actually use that. I know there are a lot.
I'd be curious to hear what old Mama Lynn has to say about it because isn't it the case that Amberlynn's coming out story is essentially Casey's coming out story? Like, isn't that basically how it happened? So I'd be curious. I mean, it's hard to also say because I feel like Amberlynn would probably prep Mama Lynn to say the right thing, and or anything that comes through Amberlynn's channel, it's hard to say, like, the authenticity of it because it's coming in through her filter, right? It's the same thing as, like, when she broke up with Wifey this past summer and had Wifey come on camera, and by on camera I mean talk off camera with her voice to discuss the breakup and how she felt about it. It's like, it's hard to say that that's genuinely what Wifey felt because at the end of the day, it was all filtered through what Amberlynn allowed to be on the YouTube.com.
Of people watching me who have not come out to their parents or just like anyone in their life in general. And I think that like the more exposure you have of coming out stories can actually make it seem less scary. Have you considered cutting your hair shorter?
Okay,
to help
please.
it recover?
Please.
So, yes. But not the way that some of you suggest. Some of you are like, go up to here to your shoulder. Never gonna happen.
I would love to see a bob, but also I think many people are just like, cut off the part, literally whatever part she held up in the last video where she was like, this part down here is fried, that just all needs to go, in my opinion. And that's my opinion as somebody that's not an expert at all. But that's just like logically and intuitively what seems to make the most sense.
As I sit here, you guys don't even know it, but as I sit here, my hair is actually quite shorter than it was literally just 2 hours ago.
Because
I
you
cut my
cut
own hair.
No, go to a fucking professional. You have all the resources in the world. And I forgot to say this on my last video, so inevitably people did comment this, but the first time she started talking about her hair problems, I mentioned this because I knew people would be worried about it. But if she's worried about like not being able to fit in a chair or something like that, like the reality is that I would guess most hairstylists would accommodate her and try to make it work. And she could probably find somebody in the state of Oklahoma that could make accommodations for her, that would be happy to make accommodations for her. So just go to a stylist. If you're worried that you're not going to be able to fit somewhere, call ahead, ask them if they can make the accommodation so you don't get embarrassed once you get there, and go have a professional do it. Go have a professional do it. You don't have any education in this area of your life, and you allegedly care so much about your hair, it just doesn't make any sense to me that you wouldn't just invest in your hair. It's fine. It's fine. Let her do whatever she wants to her hair. You can do whatever you want to your hair. You asked for all this advice. You asked for this advice. I guess this is why I'm like heated about it, because she has asked people for advice. She really has when it comes to what to do with her hair and the state that it is. And the end result is, you know what's probably best? For me to just take some scissors that probably aren't made for cutting hair and to cut my hair. It's like crazy.
And it already feels so much better. Not only that, but I haven't used heat on my hair. I also said goodbye Tresemme, and I have moved on to a different shampoo and conditioner.
What is it?
I notice already.
What's the new shampoo and conditioner?
How much better my hair looks. So here I am showing you a clip of my hair from my last vlog, and then I'm showing.
But this is, and see, listen, again, you can do whatever you want. But the bottom of your hair looks so ridiculous still. It's just less fried and damaged, but you got like a blunt cut right at the bottom of it.
My hair today, where no, it's not perfect, but it just looks and feels so much healthier.
Okay, good.
I'm very
well, you know what?
Decided to
that's what matters, is that it feels and looks better to you.
Take a pair of kitchen scissors and just chop, 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 chop.
Now, what did I say?
How do you manage your mental health?
Kitchen scissors? You took kitchen scissors. The scissors that you can't even use to open up a goddamn Amazon package, but you'll use them to cut your hair? Shit irritates me. Doesn't make no sense.
Pair of kitchen scissors and just chop, 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 chop. How do you manage your mental health with all of the hate that you get? So honestly, the best way I can describe this is like, say there is just this invisible layer between me and the hate that I receive. 9 times out of 10, 99% of my life, with all of the hate that I do consume, it doesn't pass that layer. And I think with time, that layer has gotten thicker, it has gotten stronger, because I used to not handle the hate like I handle it now. Sometimes the hate can pass through it, but it's very, very rare.
I'm sorry. She can say whatever she wants. I hope that she is managing her mental health well, but you know who I'm not going to go on a Instagram Q&A and ask questions about mental health to? Amberlynn Reed. This is a woman who has so many mental health diagnoses and does nothing to actually manage them. Does no kind of like medicinal treatment, no kind of therapeutic treatment, like actual therapy. So like, you know who I'm not asking for advice on mental health from? Amberlynn Reed. Please be fucking serious. Please. Not to mention that, like, we've seen time and time again where she can't handle the hate from her comments and things like that. So, like, she's not even an expert on that, to be honest.
And not only that, I try not to
There's a hair in my coffee cup. It's probably mine.
I purposely don't go into my comment section because that is the brutalest place I can go. There's Reddits about me. Don't go on there. Gosh, there's like other places and other forums you can go to. I don't go to any of those places. Sure. That's one of the biggest reasons why I don't even have a Twitter anymore.
It's interesting though that she doesn't go to any of those places, but like we do know for a fact that she goes to reaction channels. She just included a clip from Alex's Shook in her last vlog. So I'm curious. She's like, I won't go to the comments, but you know what is acceptable? Which, like, to be fair, I think a lot of people classify folks like me and Alex's Shook as people who are like pretty constructive in our feedback and not terribly like mean or anything like that. So maybe that's the difference. Like her comments can be really brutal. But I don't know. I have almost the same exact boundaries, except I also don't seek out videos about myself, to be honest with you. And also, though, I guess I do probably read my comments probably a bit more often than what she's saying. But I think those are all good boundaries. I'm only sharing my experience with that just to reinforce to her that I think those are good boundaries to have. Like, limiting the amount of interaction you have with those things. Chef's kiss. It's amazing. It's wonderful. 10 out of 10 recommend for all YouTube content creators or people on social media in general.
You guys message me in private and you guys are fucking amazing.
Good.
You guys are honestly so freaking sweet to me and so kind. And it's like, that's the stuff that I'm always thinking about.
Yeah.
That's the type of people that I imagine who are watching me.
You know, if there's something I'll give you a compliment on, it's that, like, over time, at least in the past, like, year or two, I do think, well, just really the past year, I do think she's gotten better on focusing less on the negativity. Because, like, this time last year, I remember almost all of her content was just about, like, the negative stuff, the negativity. I gave a lot of feedback of, like, you know, you have to figure out what those boundaries are and what lines you'll cross and not, because, like, you do want to hear feedback, right? Like, as a content creator, I want to know the things that people think that I can improve upon, but you also have to have some limit. There has to be some point where, like, you're like, okay, I've read enough feedback about myself. I'm good. It's not healthy for me to keep going. And sometimes you do want to address some of the feedback, and it's okay to address some of the feedback. But it was like literally every video that Amberlynn was making at this time, like a year ago, was about the negativity. And she really has, at least in that aspect, shifted to, if she brings up feedback from the audience, it's to, like, thank them for, you know, being kind, polite, supporting her, whoever, whatever. And I appreciate that.
Discouraged from losing weight because of your diagnosis of a lipedema. Since lipedema is not curable and it cannot go away, yes, I do get discouraged because I know that there is a large portion of my body that will not go away with weight loss. And that's hard for me to absorb. Hard for me to accept, hard for me to process.
And it's hard for me to listen to you talk about lipedema at this point because you did nothing. You continue to do nothing to manage your lipedema. Like, you were given guidance on how to lessen the symptoms and effects of your lipedema, and you've done none of it. You tried it for like a couple weeks before you gave up on it. Again, I get why it might feel very discouraging, but you also haven't even tried to do shit about it. You really haven't. Like, I understand that probably does feel, you know, like, oh, I can't ever do anything to get rid of this issue I have. Makes sense. But you also haven't really tried to do anything. successfully.
So, of course, I feel discouraged by this diagnosis.
Okay.
So the next question kind of goes into like what I was talking about. What is currently motivating you to lose weight? And it's pretty simple. It's like, I don't want any more health complications due to my weight.
Well,
and
let's
I do not
fucking
want to
go.
die anytime soon. Like,
let's get to.
I want to live for at least another 40 years. And I know that sounds crazy because people my size, we don't live that long. What is your next goal weight since you have reached your recent goal of 499 pounds? I think my next one is 469 because...
Nice. 69, nice. I'm 12, nice.
From my remembrance, that is the lowest I remember in a very long time. Do you still enjoy doing YouTube? Yes, I love everything about my side of YouTube when it comes to filming, editing, uploading. I enjoy the whole process. I think it's really fun. I've always loved it. I love how I was able to turn a hobby into a job, into something that makes it to where I have a roof over my head every single day. And every single day I am thankful for you guys. So thank you so much for that. And for letting me do something that I thoroughly love doing.
She loves doing it so much. That's why, like, in the past 2 weeks, she's posted all of, like, 2 to 3 times. Okay, all right, okay.
I will forever love it. I really, truly believe that. I understand why a lot of people might think I don't enjoy it anymore because I don't upload as much as I used to.
Okay, thank you.
The reason for that has nothing to do with, like, enjoyment.
Sure, I guess that makes sense.
YouTube still. So, no worries. I still love it, and I'm here to stay. What's your relationship with your dad like?
Thank God she's here to stay. What would we do without Amberlynn Reed? Thank you for your service, Amberlynn. I'm so glad you're here to stay.
Would you recommend Ozempic? So I think that if you have a large amount of weight to lose, I'm just so fascinated by people asking her questions about like health. I mean, I'm guessing a lot of these people that are asking questions like this are not genuinely looking for her like advice, expertise, etc. But like, why would you care if Amberlynn recommended Ozempic or not? Like, this is the girlie who did it for like all of 2 to 3 weeks. Like, she's even if she's like, I had a really bad experience with it. I mean, I guess there's some level of that might be helpful to know, but also you're talking to a girlie who didn't even give it like a shot, give it a fair chance, you know? And this is also the girlie that has gone back and forth over time in her videos on whether or not she would or would not recommend it to her. So it's like, recommend it to you or to the audience, etc. So it's like, can you even trust what she's gonna say anyways if it just depends on however she's feeling that day? You're obviously under doctor's supervision and they think it's the right thing for you to do, and now you're just sitting there like, should I do this? I would say yes, give it a try, see how your body reacts. I know for me, I had some unpleasant symptoms, but ultimately in the end, I'm willing to even try it again. So
yeah, so are you gonna go be under the guidance of a doctor and try it again then? like you can say you're open to trying it again, but you haven't done anything. Go to the doctor and ask him. Have you found a new doctor in Oklahoma yet? Are we on your medical care journey yet?
If you're debating, I'd say try it. Ozempic has saved a lot of people's lives and it has made a lot of people lose weight. And I feel like that's really important for health reasons. So yeah. So this kind of goes into the last question. Why are you open to Ozempic again? I think she just used the word last in a weird way. Because this is certainly not the last question. I was like, we're only 10 and a half minutes into this video. Oh my God, we're only 10 and a half minutes into this video and I've been filming for 30 minutes. Goes into the last question. Why are you open to Ozempic again, even if it can mess with your gallbladder? Because rapid weight loss, yo-yo dieting, losing a large amount of weight, all of that messes with your gallbladder regardless. I'm the queen of yo-yo dieting. You guys know that.
It's almost like people told you that at the time. It's almost like people, told you that when you quit Ozempic And then a month or two later started losing like 14, 15 pounds a week, which was way more than you lost while you were on Ozempic. And people are like, oh, so that's not rapid weight loss? It's not rapid weight loss. Your gallbladder's just fine.
I want to lose a large chunk of weight. So it's like my gallbladder has had issues in the past already due to the yo-yo dieting and to the weight loss. So it's like, what's another thing? If I'm being supervised by a doctor and they're like, you know what, it's fine, I think your gallbladder will be fine, then I'm going to do it. I'm not going to not lose weight just because of my gallbladder. Do you think living in Oklahoma will allow you to grow or no? Oh,
it's just so wild because like, she allows it to be an excuse when she wants to stop doing something, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's not a big deal whatsoever. Not that her feelings can't change, but that's just how it is with everything for her. Everything is just like whatever fits the narrative that she wants to go with at the time. It's maddening.
Absolutely. Because it has already allowed me to grow. This is the most independent I have ever been in my whole entire life. I feel my mental health improving. I feel my emotional health improving. I feel my physical health. I am losing weight. I am independent. Yes, I don't drive. A lot of people don't, though. You can be an independent person and still not drive. So yes,
yeah, your favorite reaction channel, Zachary Michael, still famously doesn't drive, and I'm a very independent person. I'm super independent. I will say, Noel and I have talked about getting a car within the next year, though, so just because it'll be helpful with Noel getting around for the work that Noel does. But I will probably continue to just putz around town with these two legs and the CTA.
Growing and improving as a person, like living on my own. Question for me is, will I continue to grow as a person here? Or am I eventually going to want to move on and go
let's
somewhere
move.
else? I don't know.
Let's move.
What's one thing people rag you about online that you feel bad about? So by rag me, I'm assuming the person meant like something that people like constantly bring up.
They
and
rag
the first
me.
thing I think of
rag is one of those words that like there's people in my life from like my hometown that said that they hate the word rag, and I never really understood why. They're just like, rag is such a dirty word, and I'm like, is it? I don't know. But then also sometimes people would be like it would be used as a reference to like being on the rag as a way to like refer to a person being on their period. And so I guess, like, in that context, that's a really weird way to just talk about, like, a bodily function that people have. But anyways, this is unrelated to Amberlynn. This is unrelated to her.
It's like my ignorance with, like, certain words that I've used years and years ago. Like, I'm talking over 7 years ago. Since then, I have apologized and learned, owned up for my mistakes. And I think that's literally the only thing you can do when you're ignorant towards something is own up to your mistakes, apologize, learn, and grow from that. Do you think the therapy you did for weight loss surgery helped you?
I would be inclined to agree to some extent. Like, you know, the one thing I can say about Amberlynn is whenever... I wouldn't say she immediately owned up to her mistakes. That's the part that I'm gonna, like, disagree with for at least a little bit, because... I remember one of the first things I ever, like, talked about her on the YouTubies about was, like, her dead naming Casey, and specifically also her being, like, not super aware of how being bisexual works. She used to say things like she could never date a bisexual woman because she would be worried that the bisexual woman would cheat on her with a man, which is simply not how bisexuality works. And so that was like one of the first videos or things that I commented on about her. And in particular with the dead naming of Casey, she for a while stuck by her right to continue calling Casey by his dead name because she was like, well, I knew him as yada, 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 right? And so that was something that she took a long time before she changed. And I'm glad she did change, but, like, to say that she, like, immediately, like, owned up to those mistakes and things like that is maybe not fair. But I do agree that in most cases, when she said something ignorant in the past, unlike maybe somebody like Chantal Foodie Beauty, you know, she has tried to, like, learn from those mistakes and at the very least hasn't really repeated a lot of them, at least in recent history that I know of.
I just want to say on an editing note that I was specifically talking about, like, her saying ignorant, like, offensive things here, like, in regards to people's identities and things like that, because that's what I felt like she was talking about. I think there's obviously, certainly things that she still lies about and is problematic in other ways that I don't think she takes ownership. But I was just specifically talking about her referencing, because that's what she referenced, her referencing, like, ignorant words and stuff like that she's used in the past. And I would say, in general, it's not like she's out here saying ignorant things that are offensive to groups of people or communities or marginalized people, things like that. I do think, obviously, because she does it in this video, that she's still awful about lying, gaslighting, manipulating, etc. Just wanted to make sure we're on the same page about that.
Because as a viewer of 8 years, I have noticed a huge positive change in you. Well, thank you for saying that. That actually means a lot to me. I also noticed it as well. But I think that the therapy definitely helped. It helped a lot because I think that might be the first time in my whole life, and I've done a lot of therapy in my life, but that is the first time in my whole life that I have ever seen one psychologist for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on end.
So are we gonna do that again? Are we gonna re-engage with therapy? It's almost like I've been asking you to try to do this forever. Many people have asked you to try to do this forever. People have asked you to try to recommit to it while you're here in Oklahoma. I truly think that it would be so positive for you.
It's almost as if, like, my whole weight loss surgery journey was just, like, meant to happen for that very reason, because it's like I've learned so much about myself, and there were so many, like, situations from my past, especially, like, in my childhood, where it's like if I would even think about it, like, instantly tears. And now it's like I can talk maturely, clearly about the situations.
Sorry, my skeptical face that you might have seen was more about her saying that the purpose of her weight loss journey was to bring her to that therapy experience, which, like, I'm glad it did bring her to that therapy experience, but also your weight loss surgery experience was supposed to bring you to weight loss surgery. It's why you invested so much money in the experience. You could have been getting therapy the whole time and you just didn't.
It's like I'm okay and I'm here and I'm well. I feel myself healing from things that I never ever thought that I would. And getting diagnosed with PTSD and also BPD, it opened my eyes tremendously. It's like things that I used to not be aware of, I'm now aware of.
But wait, but you got those diagnoses at the end of your therapy experience, at least based on what you told us, because that's why you were going to a new therapist that you went to once before you moved to Oklahoma, where you have not done any work on your BPD. So you got a diagnosis, but you surely haven't been doing the work to process, like, BPD as a diagnosis, you know? Like, you can certainly do some research and read through it, but my understanding of BPD is it takes a lot of, like, intentional work to manage.
And I'm able to, like, rationally be like, okay, so this is the reason you're this way. Now it's your choice to, like, find that rational side of you, take a deep breath, calm down, and do the right thing. So this kind of goes with the last question, but it's...
Oh, when she says, when this goes with the last question, she means the question that she just asked. Or that she just answered. Oh, I see. The way she worded it last time was maybe a little bit confusing, but I get now. I now understand her use of the word last. Okay, I'm just dumb as fuck.
The answer that I am going to give. The question is, what is the worst habit that you do when you're in love with someone? So not only do I have BPD, but I have massive anxious attachment issues. Like, it is so freaking bad. But when I'm in love with someone, they become my everything. And I know it's because of the BPD. I know it's because of the anxious attachment. So it gets so bad, it's to the point where it's like my emotions, my feelings, my thoughts, the way my day goes, etc., is all based on the way that they are treating me.
It is so wild to me that she, like, has, like, where did she gain all of this understanding of BPD from? I guess just researching it online, because it's not from a therapist, which, like, I'm glad she has an understanding. I'm just so skeptical of it because I guess because it comes out of nowhere, you know? It feels like it's coming out of absolutely nowhere.
One small change or tweak in tone or words can literally feel like the end of the world to me. I never understood why. I always thought I was just dramatic. That's what I was called, my whole life in relationships. It's just like, you're dramatic. Why are you so irrational? Why do you act this way? Like, you're just being crazy. Like, hearing those things constantly, it's just like, yeah, that's how I felt. Like, I'm just being dramatic. I'm just drama queen. And it's just like, no, like, now that I know the reason, it's like, wow, I have BPD. That's why I'm doing this. Like, I know this isn't normal. I know this isn't rational. Having that answer has helped me so much. Like, you guys have no idea.
I understand how much, like, a diagnosis can help you understand your behaviors and actions, which it seems like that is what she's trying to communicate here, is, like, it's helped her understand why she was the way she was. I guess my thing, when it comes to Amberlynn and diagnoses of anything, whether it's mental health related or physical health related, is that she frequently does this, though. Like, she loves to have a diagnosis to explain what her behavior was, but then she doesn't do actually anything to change her behavior. And right now we can't see if any of that behavior is going to change because she's not currently, at least that we know of, in a relationship like that. So who knows if she's going to, like, make changes the next time that she is allegedly in love with somebody. But that's my concern, and my concern for why she's not going to therapy. Because, like, I would imagine it's very hard without, like, assistance and constant work on that to, like, just change that behavior out of nowhere.
How empowering it is to have an answer. I might actually give an example. So say someone I'm in a relationship with usually messages me every morning at 9 a.m. and says good morning to me. That's something I'm used to. That's something that I expect. So if it comes 9:30, I start to think they hate me. They want nothing to do with me. They're cheating on me. That's where my brain goes automatically. I'm not gonna lie. It would probably start happening around 9:03 a.m. So then what that would cause me to do is text them. Why haven't you talked to me? Is everything okay? Like, multiple texts. Because not only is that my BPD being, like, triggered, but it's also my anxious attachment being triggered. But now that I have the answers, where in the past, if I did that, that would just be me being dramatic. I'm a crazy girlfriend. Like, what the heck are you doing? Now it's like, if that was to happen, I would send one text. You okay, babe? A simple you okay? Yes, I'd still be, like, on the inside having a little bit of anxiety, like, oh my God, what's happening? Because I can't change those things about myself right now.
Wait, am I crazy to think a you okay, babe, just because you didn't get a text right at 9 a.m. is still a little dramatic? like, why don't you just send a text like, good morning, babe? Like, I don't know. I also just am still like, I don't need a lesson in BPD from Amberlynn Reed. I don't think that's what I came here for today, but here we are. I guess that's what we're getting, whether I like it or not, huh?
That's going to come with time. That's going to come with therapy. That's going to come with help. But the fact that I'm able to stare the same situation of therapy, that's going to, because I can't change those things about myself right now. That's going to come with time. That's going to come with therapy. That's going to...
All right, book the appointment. That's what I thought you said. I thought you said it's going to come with therapy. Those changes are going to come with therapy. Okay, book the appointment. Book the appointment. Book the appointment.
With help. But the fact that I'm able to stare the same situation in the face, whereas it happening 3 years ago and I freaked the F out, or it happening now and I'm like, It's gonna be okay, Amberlynn. Trust me, I know it can be exhausting for someone to be with someone like that. 100% agree. But it's also exhausting for me. It's very exhausting. But I try my very hardest to be upfront with the person that I'm interested in. Like, these are my issues. This is sometimes how I react to certain situations. I just feel like it's very important to have open communication around anything in a relationship, but especially mental health.
I also
as a person.
I also am not trying to take relationship advice from Amberlynn Reed. Just getting a lot of advice on things that I would not ask Amberlynn Reed to ever give me advice on, you know? Mental health, relationships, dieting. None of those things are things that I would be like, who could give me the best advice ever? Amberlynn Reed. She's the one.
What show did you audition for last year? So I am friends with someone from 1,000-pound Best Friends.
You know what's so wild about all of this? You know what's so crazy about all this? Like, this just reminded me, it was like this particular thing, and I think the weight loss surgeon, whatever she's gonna tell us about that, because it's in the title, I know it's coming. Those two things were both things that she said in some previous video that she couldn't answer in those videos because they deserved dedicated videos to just those topics. And yet they're being thrown into this video Q&A situation type of deal with 32 other questions, 31 other questions, whatever the number is, you know?
We thought it would be a good idea for me to be on that show. So
the 1,000-pound Best Friends?
And they're like, you know what? Let's give her an interview. So I had an interview.
On the 1,000-pound Best Friends. First of all, that show is struggling. Although I did see it's apparently, allegedly coming back. But that show, in terms of my level of interest in it, as somebody who covered it on this channel, the show was struggling. They're all very nice girlies. I've talked to specifically Megan and Tina before. They're all very nice girlies. I've had lovely interactions with all of them. But their show was a little on the boring side. So, I don't know if Amberlynn would help or hurt that, to be honest. And I also don't know where she would actually fit in, because it's not like she doesn't live in Georgia with them. They all live in Georgia. Her only connection to them, if she really is genuinely friends with them, is one where she DMs with them on Instagram. So that's just all. That's very fascinating to me as a concept.
Celine was my girlfriend at the time, and she was 100% supportive. We knew that we were going to have to actually move to a different state to be a part of that show. And we were both willing to do it. We were willing and ready. I did
Fascinating.
An interview. It actually went amazing, but I never heard back from them. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this happens a lot. I have been interviewed for a few weight loss shows, and it always goes really good. They like hype me up and they make me feel really good, but they never call me back.
That's too bad.
They never even tell me sorry.
That's too
we
bad.
Didn't choose you. It's just like there's nothing. So,
I don't think she would not thrive on a reality TV show. I would love to watch her on one. I would love for her to have that opportunity, but I truly think the biggest challenge for her being on a show like that is that she wouldn't get to control the narrative. And I say that because she's DM'd me to try to control the narrative about her on her channel. You know, that's the reason that she has such issues with people who like call out her lies and stuff, is because she's worked so hard to curate a narrative and her own story, when we all know that's like why she got so mad at Destiny for sharing things, because Destiny was disrupting the narrative that Amberlynn has had for so long on her channel. That's why she gets upset when Beck exposes things about what was going on behind the scenes. It's because Amberlynn loves the narrative, and so I don't think she would be happy. I would love to see her be out of control of the narrative, but she would not be happy on one of those shows when they portrayed her in a way she didn't like to be portrayed, you know? I mean, that's the thing, is like, Tammy and Amy on the 1,000 Pound Sisters, they really, they show all sides of those girlies. They show the good, the bad, the happy and sad, you know? Like, they don't get an option, and they've dealt with it, I think, with a lot of grace, and they do a good job of it, but I just don't foresee a world where Amberlynn could deal with that. You know? You feel me?
It would have been an amazing experience. I would have absolutely loved it, because the girl I'm friends with from that show, I don't want to, like, say her name.
Say it.
I don't know how she would feel about that. I'm sure she wouldn't care, but, like...
Say it.
Y'all, you know me. I'm
Name
afraid.
'em.
Like... The
Name
dog
'em.
scene, I might say the wrong thing. Like, I have become more private on my channel. I do want to...
Doxing, it would not be doxing for you to say that you're friends with one of the public figures from the 1,000 Pound Best Friends. That's not doxing. That's like public information about them.
Better with that and start sharing more. But it's hard to balance, like... What am I allowed to say versus what am I not allowed to say? I don't want anyone mad at me. So,
Why not, if you're going to talk about this at all then, why not reach out to said friend and be like, is it okay that I'm talking about this? Do you care if I name you?
It was 1,000 Pound Best Friends, and I don't know, it just would have been great. Like, I really do feel that. Do you consider yourself a sexual person? Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Fingerlyn absolutely is a sexual person.
I would consider myself to be a very sexual person, especially, like, if we vibe in that way, like sex every day.
Work.
I'm a daily sex
Work.
cop, so
let's fucking
do you have
go.
a current love life? So I actually do have a current love life, and it is with my Valentine. There was a phase where I was talking to multiple people at once, and my feelings grew here and there, and this...
The concept of her talking to multiple people at once, and they're all rando girlies in her Instagram DMs... It's just so funny to me. It's just like such a wild way to date that I personally wouldn't. I know people do, but it's just not something I can relate to.
That,
like, she's never met them. I
just realized that, like, talking to multiple people at once is not me. It never has been. I never did anything like that before. But it's like, people were like, you know, you're single, try it out, talk to different people. And I did. I experienced it. Great. It's just not for me. So my Valentine is...
I had so many potential lovers, and it's just not for me. I'm a one DM kind of girly.
Person that I'm interested in, and the only person that I want to be interested in, and that I will be interested in. So, yeah, I do have a love life. What 5 things would you want your partner to be like? I'll name some things, like obviously like trustworthy and loyal. I want someone who's loving and affectionate, like with their words and physical touch. I want someone who's obsessed with me. Like, mutual obsession is definitely green flag coded for sure. And I want someone who's like weird and funny and quirky and silly, because that is very much me.
Mutual obsession. Girl, did you not just get done telling us about how you needed to not be so, like, obsessed with, like, a person? You know what I'm saying? Like, she literally just got done talking about BPD and how it makes her, like, respond irrationally and be obsessed with every action, behavior, word from her partner. And now you want mutual obsession? Like, I don't know. Using the word obsessed to talk about a partner is weird to me. Like, I love my partner, and I also, like, do not want to spend every minute of my day with him. You know? And I think that's healthy. Like, I think that that's more of the work you need to book that therapy appointment for.
Is wifey number 1 the same as wifey number 2? Wifey number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are all the same person. Has Nika caught up?
Yeah, we fucking know. That's some stale-ass tea, girl. We know that Wifey Jade, Alex, Feline, all of them, they were all the fucking same, because we're not stupid. I know you think we're fucking dumb, but we're not. We're not. We're not at all.
Do you use sex toys with yourself or with partners? Yes, I do. And I know some people are going to come for me, especially if you've been watching me for about a decade. Because I remember one time I said, like I said, like this was like a decade ago. One time I was like, yeah, I think you only need sex toys if like your sex life is like super boring. Girly pop, I was just like delusional at the time. I'm not delusional anymore. A sex toy is amazing. And
I'm so glad you've welcomed the world of sex toys into your life, girly pop. Thrilled, pleased, glad to hear it. Love to hear it. Thrilled for you. Can you all sleep better tonight knowing this information now?
I've knew that for years now, but I'm just like speaking about it now. Will you show your partner in videos in the future? But this goes
probably
for
not.
anyone, whether it's a family member, whether it's a partner, whether it's a friend. I will show you. You can be in my videos. You can be in all my videos. You can do whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want, but you guys know what I mean. Be all up in my videos. Like, I don't care, but it's only if you want to. I will never ever put someone in my videos that does not want to be in my video. I would love it if my partner wanted to be part of my YouTube channel. But I understand if they wouldn't. People are brutal. And there's a difference between, oh, I'm gonna make fun of this, I might make fun of your hair, versus like, I'm gonna dox you and your family and your dog and your dog's kibbles. Like, it's just like, people be doxing like what doctors I have. That actually goes into the next question. Perfect segue, Amberlynn.
She. I love how she's like, oh, this just conveniently goes into the next question. Girl, I know you planned that. You know where you were going with that.
Really happened during the weight loss surgery era.
This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been waiting for, cause y'all, I've been waiting. That's all I'll say. I've been waiting for a long time.
Okay. I specifically said repeatedly during that whole era, I will explain later. You guys will see why I'm upset later. I can't tell you now, but I'll tell you later. Later is here, and I'm just going to do it short and quick and to the point.
I will say, if she's gonna be entirely honest based on like the things that she said to me, like, I don't understand why she waited this long. I definitely understand why she would have waited until maybe she was at least out of Kentucky. I feel that. But she definitely could have said something by now. She definitely could have said something a long time ago.
Easily do a whole story time, but I'm just not going to even do that because I'm not going to put my energy into this that hardcore because I just don't want to. I did back then. My energy was very much into this back then. I was very upset. She sure was.
A lot of misplaced anger from Miss Amberlynn Reed. At least towards me, which is why I've been waiting for her to say something.
I came on my YouTube and I said, oh, I can't get weight loss surgery until I don't binge for a whole year. It came out of nowhere. It was confusing.
It sure was.
It made no sense. But I held on to that and I said, okay, let's do it. Then I had an appointment with my dietitian and she said, you're going to come meet the surgeon because we need to talk to you about something. And this was before I was even supposed to meet the surgeon. Sorry, I itched right here, so that's why I'm super red and I just
Thank you so much.
My skin is sensitive. Anyways, I was going to meet the surgeon even before I was supposed to. So, long story short, hundreds and hundreds of people were emailing my surgeon, finding his Instagram and messaging him. They were contacting my surgeon's office through the phone, through messages. Any way that people could contact my surgeon, they were finding it and they were doing it. So how did people find out who my surgeon was? A reaction channel. How did that reaction channel find out who my surgeon was? Because I read maybe 2 sentences of an email that was sent to me by my surgeon's office. This reactor wanted to know so badly.
Okay, I don't think this part she's talking about me, for the record, because this doesn't have anything to do with me. But it is wild. I don't know what she's about to say that the reactor did or didn't do, and I don't know the validity of what the reactor did or didn't do. But she literally just like outed herself for her own responsibility. She read out an email she got from the office of her surgeon, okay? Like, she did that. It's based on stuff she shared, which is what irritates me about this whole situation. It's like, the thing about her weight loss surgeon is that she was so inconsistent with her lies. Like, I would totally understand why she would lie about where she was going when it came to getting this surgery and stuff like that for this very reason. I totally would understand that, but her lies were so fucking inconsistent. So inconsistent, and like, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. I'm not the Nancy Drew of the internet. I'm not an internet sleuth. I'm not out here searching for these things, but like, she lied about things like, oh, I'm gonna have to go somewhere and stay overnight when my surgeon's a female. And then when she actually did the vlog about going to meet with the surgeon, she did it all in one day. She showed herself leaving her home, going to the surgeon, and coming back, and all of a span of less than 24 hours, okay? Like, she lied so badly about this. And then she also did things like share email correspondence that she got from her surgeon. It's just like, girl, you are so bad at the internet. You're so bad at the internet.
Who my surgeon was, that they faked wanting to get weight loss surgery just so they could get that email back to them to confirm who my weight loss surgeon was. And once they confirmed who my weight loss surgeon was, what did they do? They doxed him.
Did
they? They said, this is Amberlynn's surgeon. This is who he is.
I've heard people say that this has something to do with like Narc and kicking geese. I really don't have any knowledge of who this is. Well, actually, I think Amberlynn told me in a DM that it had something to do with Narc and kicking geese, if I'm being honest with you. But I've also seen people in like my Twitch chat and stuff like that say it too. So I don't know the details of this. I don't know if that actually happened or not. I'm sure there's more to the story, as there always is when Amberlynn brings up reaction channels. But that's just what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Let me go look at the DMs. Yep. I found their names in here. Yeah. That's who she was blaming, in case you want to know. In case you want to know what reaction channel she's talking about.
Blah, 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 blah. Well, my surgeon was Dr. Smith, the same surgeon who did Tammy Slayton's surgery.
Okay, so now that she's confirmed it in a video, I love that moments ago. I love that moments ago she's like, they found his Instagram. Yeah, he's a very famous surgeon, which you also said in videos that you were going to one of the most famous weight loss surgeons in America, right? You want to know how many followers? She's like, oh, I can't believe they found his Instagram and sent him messages. I follow Dr. Smith on Instagram, okay? He has 45.1 thousand followers, okay? It's not like his Instagram is hard to find. He wants to be found because he's literally a doctor on a famous reality television show. All right? He's not difficult to find on the internet.
I have met him. He is wonderful. He was understanding. So when I met him and we had that meeting, I explained to him everything. He explained to me the type of messages and things that he was receiving. It was people saying how I binged and I lie. So not only was I fighting for myself to get weight loss surgery, but I was fighting against hundreds of people because of a careless reaction channel.
Okay, you know what's so silly about that, though? Like, listen, I don't know what he did or didn't say to her, but, like, Dr. Smith literally has very high-profile clients, and Tammy, Amy, Chris, Misty, and Amanda, right? Like, well, I guess he's not Amy's doctor, because Amy still goes back to Dr. Proctor, but the rest of the family he is actively working with. You think his office has never gotten messages about the Slaytons? Like, it seems weird to me still that he would just, like, completely change the way he treats you as a patient because of messages he got on the internet. Like, I just don't imagine that he's really going to be like, well, I can't be your provider. I can't be your medical care provider because of the things that I've read on the internet. That doesn't make no sense to me. It really doesn't.
I was pissed. I was hurt because it's like, react to me all day. Go for it. I really don't care at this point.
Okay,
but
good.
Stop
I will.
getting in the fucking way of my life. Like, you got in the way of my life.
Wait, I still don't understand that. I mean, I really don't understand. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I know it's probably annoying for the office to have to deal with that. And I certainly, this is not me advocating for people to meddle in Amberlynn's life like this. Like I even told Amberlynn in DMs, because by the way, she does also blame me for doxing. I don't know if she's gonna say anything about that. Some people said that she mentioned me in this video. Maybe we just haven't gotten to that. Maybe it happens in the last 3 minutes that I haven't watched yet. But she blames me for this too, for like completely different reasons. And the whole thing that I just like don't get about it is that like, the only person to blame for anybody's actions when it comes to your actual weight loss, your medical care, etc. is you, right? Like, I really can't imagine any doctor worth their weight and worth their medical degree is out here changing the way that they care for somebody based on some like messages that they get from the internet. And I told Amberlynn, I'm going back. I finally remembered where I lost track of what I was saying. But I told Amberlynn at the time that like, I would never advocate for people doxing her. Like, I have literally lost followers from the times that I've defended her. Even as recently, this was obviously after the weight loss surgery thing, but even as recently as when people were taking photos and videos of her in the laundromat, okay? I've defended her, and I think if you've been around long enough, you know that I tell people constantly to not meddle in her life like this. And so I get that. I also just don't understand why Dr. Smith would change her medical treatment of her based on some stuff that people on the internet were saying, especially when he's used to dealing with higher profile clients than Amberlynn Reed, let's be honest.
Once the surgeon heard about all this and heard my side of the story, that is when things were changed. And he was like, you know what, a year is way too long. He explained to me that they've never been in this type of situation where like someone who was well known gets doxxed and now he's receiving all of these messages and calls and stuff. Like, not only like was that not fair to me, but it wasn't fair to them as professionals. Like, they had to deal with all of these messages. That's not fair to them.
Sure.
As I speak on this.
Sure, but that doesn't make any sense why out of nowhere without consulting you, he'd tell you had to wait a year for weight loss surgery. That doesn't make no sense to me.
Thank Zachary Michael to them. As I speak on this, I also want to thank Zachary Michael because he knew about all of this. I actually told him in private. I didn't give him like the rundown. I didn't give him every tiny detail, but he knew who my surgeon was. I went back to try to find the DMs, but I don't know. A lot of DMs were deleted. I don't know if it was because of him or because
they're not deleted at all, bestie girl. Wait, she is such a lie. They are not deleted. And I'm so surprised that she's out here acting like she was so nice to me at the time, because she was so fucking rude. She was so rude. And even when she was rude as hell to me, I still kept this for her. I still kept this secret for her because I didn't want people fucking meddling with her life. Ooh, she got me heated saying that these messages are deleted. If anything, I'm wondering, they might be deleted because she blocked me several times, but they're all here for me. They're all here. They're all here. They're all here, including the time that she said, okay, now that's fucking shitty, Zach. She said, okay, that's fucking shitty, Zach. We had a personal discussion on why I don't want people knowing who my surgeon is. Okay, so we had 2 separate conversations. The first one happened because I had like briefly referenced Dr. Smith in a video, okay? I briefly referenced him because she was talking about how she was surprised that her doctor had such low requirements for weight loss for her, because I think she said at one point she only had to lose like 1 pound a week or something like that. And I said, I don't know why she's acting so surprised. I know she watches the 1,000 Pound Sisters, and Dr. Smith on that show is constantly like giving them very low ballpark goals for weight loss, and he's always been like that. And she took that to be me doxing her. That's the original message she sent me, because she was like, doxing isn't okay, I don't know why you would even bring him up. And I was like, girly pop, I didn't even know that he was your surgeon until you told me in this conversation. And then I was very kind to her then, and I said, I did bring it up. This is why I brought him up. I promise that, like, I'm not going to say anything about him unless you say something about him on this channel. And then there was a second conversation, and that's where she DM'd me and said, that's fucking shitty, Zach. I can't believe that you would dox me and expose me. And that's because in one of her videos, I pointed out that she was lying about having a female surgeon, about having to travel overnight to get to her surgeons. And then she claimed that I was doxing her, and she was actually quite upset with me. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and read every single message, but that's a very different tone than this, like, thank you, Zachary Michael. But you know what? I'll take the thank you. I'll take it, because I really did. I really did know about it this whole time, and I really was respecting your privacy. So you're fucking welcome, despite these rude-ass messages you sent me. Oh, I'm heated. I am heated. I'm so heated. Oh, God, it's not even that serious. She just thanked me for keeping her secret. But damn. Damn if she wasn't rude as hell to me in a DM.
I'm blocked at one point. It's a mess. I do be blocking. I'm not gonna lie.
She does.
But just out of respect, I'm not gonna share our DMs because I feel like that's low life.
Well, you said, how are you gonna share our DMs? You just said they were deleted.
Action channels love to share DMs. It's like they're
Listen,
it's like, oh, Amberlynn messaged me. Let me show you. It's like,
she did ask me not to share like all of them, so I'm not gonna go give a rundown. Like, it's fine. I just wanted to give you the tone of one of them to let you know how different the tone was from the thank you. I had way more DMs about that situation than what I showed you, because she was so mad at me for doxing her. I'm like, girl, fucking please. Oh my God.
For real now, come on. But yeah, Zachary Michael knew, and he didn't say a word. And in his reactions, he acted like he had no idea. And I feel like a lot of people might...
Now, what was that? Now, what was that? Now, what the fuck was that? Was she now trying to make it sound like I'm being fake? Because she did, in fact, get mad at me for calling out that she was lying about the situation. She did, in fact, because she was like, well, you knew that I was lying about it, so it's unfair for you to call me out for lying about it, was essentially what she said to me. So I was doing my best to toe the line. So if you're trying to make it out like I'm a bad person for not exposing you right now, my blood is boiling.
Ask this. No, that's not the reason why I didn't end up getting weight loss surgery, because I was still going through with it. Like, Dr. Smith is so freaking amazing. Like, he was so sweet, such a gentleman. He was.
I'm sure he was.
Me through and through. Like, I wish more than anything, if I ever want weight loss surgery again, that he will be the surgeon, because it's just like, he is incredible. I ultimately did not get weight loss surgery because I didn't feel ready. I didn't. I genuinely didn't. I didn't feel like I had the support that I needed, because me and my now ex, we were just going through a lot at the time, and it was super expensive, like $35,000. Like, it was just like a lot of different things.
Didn't she say that the wifey stuff had nothing to do with it? Maybe I'm misremembering.
Causing me to be like, this is not the right choice right now. So the next question kind of goes into what we were just talking about. Is weight loss surgery something you will try again? But right
I'm
now,
so mad. I'm ready for this video to be done.
Will it always be no? I really don't know. But right now, that's not like in the cards for me, honestly. So the last question is, what's your ideal sexual fantasy? Tanya, put my panties on my mouth. Oh,
you really?
Come do whatever you want to me.
Is that how we're ending this?
I'm tied up, so there's nothing I can do about it.
Is that how we're ending this?
You guys, this was a long Q&A.
Is that how we ended this?
Oh my God, it's literally been an hour for me. I have to edit this.
It's been an hour and 15 for me.
That was a fun hour. I thoroughly enjoyed this Q&A. I just wanted to give you guys something a little more the substance. I feel like this had substance, or at least I hope so. To me, it did. I love you guys. I have a lot of editing to do now, but I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Same. Oh, my blood is boiling. My blood is boiling. I just feel like she really thought she was going to get the upper hand trying to make me look bad for keeping it. It's so weird because she started that off saying, thank you to Zachary Michael for keeping this because he knew this was going on. And he didn't share it because here's the thing, she reached out and told me. I didn't even actually know until she DM'd me and told me, okay? And then the thing that was so frustrating in that second conversation we had, she was literally holding it over me. She was like saying like, you shouldn't be allowed to talk about my weight loss surgery at all anymore because you know this information about me. Like I could go back and read that word for word for you. Like she was saying that I shouldn't be, she was doing it what at the time felt like in a very manipulative way because she didn't want me talking about her weight loss surgery anymore. And so she put me in a position that was so difficult at the time that I really did spend a lot of time thinking about, like, how do I want to move forward? Do I just not talk about her weight loss surgery at all? Or is there a way I can talk about it where I don't bring up Dr. Smith and what I know about it because she told me? Like, it was such manipulative ass behavior at the time. And so for her to end that with being like, yeah, he basically was lying to you all and acting like he didn't know anything about it. Because you were manipulating me. You were manipulating me. Oh, I'm so irritated. I'm so fired the fuck up. It's a good thing I'm about to go on a vacation because that's too much. That's too damn much. That is way too damn much. Thanks so much once again to Love and Pies for sponsoring today's video. If you're interested in trying out the game, make sure to use the link in my description box down below or use the QR code that's on the screen. I promise you'll have a good time. Thank you so much for watching. If you're brand new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I love you all so much, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!